Well, welcome to another edition of In the Pocket, of course. A wonderful weekend of football last weekend, all thanks to Palmerbet, of course. And, gather round, Spider Everett, as I say. A very, very good afternoon to you, mate. It was a massive success, let's be honest. And I want to get your thoughts. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think there was one person that didn't think it was brilliant. And they held us out all weekend, and you saw it. It was just fantastic. It continued to build and build and build and build. And it was great to see everybody in the right spirit. But what I loved about it mostly was towards the end of the weekend, they turned around and said, you know what? We're going to give you another 3 years. And it would have been absolutely disgusting if they'd given it to WA or New South Wales or even Queensland, as much as everybody wants it. You know why? Because South Australia said, we'll take this on, we'll make this work, and show them the appreciation. So I reckon it should stay in Adelaide. I was a bit dubious at the start, but right now they did a great job. So well done. And they've got Live this weekend. There's nothing like, I never thought,
massive.
I wish I was in Adelaide.
Yeah, no, honestly, it is massive. Doing a wonderful job. The Premier over there is really proactive, isn't he? And I must admit, Spy, did you see the handball competition on the Sunday footy show with the Premier and Gil McLaughlin? Did you see that footage?
No, I missed that one. I had to go.
Oh, mate. Honestly, I thought Gil was a superstar, mate, but he absolutely flopped that big fella. Tony Jones, TJ, nearly had him covered, mate.
Really, the big chompers. Big chompers got him.
I've never laughed so much. Now, listen, you've been building, right? Hall of Fame, Saints guitar. We've got the big picture over the back with the gold coming out of the lips. I don't know what that one is, but that's magnificent. We've got a Dusty Button song over your left shoulder. And just behind your head, if you just move out of the way just a fraction, the Adelaide Crows jumper. Who signed that one, mate? Tell me it's mods.
Mark Rashudo. So the king, the mayor of South Australia got his jumper up there. So every week we're just building, but because it was gather round, I thought, you know what? You've got to get the rule on there somewhere.
I love it, mate. We've got to do something with this too. We've got to talk to the powers that be a part of it. This has got to be either given away, auctioned off. We've got to do something with this memorabilia because it is unbelievable. The collection that you have got is something to behold. Now, listen, let's go back and have a talk about the football last week because the Crows, they were magnificent against the Blues. I must admit, I think I was all over Carlton last week with Walsh coming back in. But, gee whiz, Adelaide, they're just playing some good football at the moment, Spider.
Yeah, I think kind of looking at my 3 highlights over the weekend, even, Adelaide was definitely one of those. They come out of the box and, when, quarter time, you're thinking, gee, there's going to be a 100-goal margin. I mean, a 100-point margin. Carlton had no answers. And still in the second quarter, they still struggled to combat what Adelaide were able to throw up. So Adelaide playing a really good brand of footy at the moment. And to kick off a round like that in front of your home crowd, perfect conditions, was just awesome. So I felt for them, they were probably the highlight outside of, I still like the fact that St Kilda challenged Collingwood. They got within a goal. Yeah, it was 3 goals with a couple of minutes to go.
Yeah.
But, the 2 top teams, St Kilda did not look out of place. That's what I loved about it. They challenged a really top team. And the other one for me was I still like the fact that, when you look at all the games over the weekend, the Bombers were still very impressive.
Yeah.
I would never have picked the Bombers to do that, and it sets it up for a juicy one this weekend. But those 3 games over the weekend, for me, really stood out.
Yeah, I must admit, the Bombers are the team that I think everyone's been waiting for. I suppose security probably put in the same mix. Been waiting to stumble, I guess, haven't they? But they're just playing some good football at the moment. And Brad Scott has done an enormous job, whatever you say. And Ross Lyons, the other one, they're both, old coaches returning to the fray spot.
Yeah, and that's what we love about it. And, still now the Bombers are saying, oh, look, we're probably 5 or 6 players short that we need to be, and we need to do this and we need to do that. Who cares? At the moment, the way they're playing footy, Stringer's been absolute, a jet, and then, suddenly a second lease on life. Compared to what they were dishing up this time 12 months ago, is absolute chalk and cheese. And any Bomber supporter, yep, they're winning, but even if they were just getting beaten and still giving that effort, you wouldn't care. So, for me, a highlight would have been the Bombers. Sad to say, but, for all the Bombers fans, they'll be absolutely pumped.
What about 6 goals from Tommy Papley, mate? The Tigers are just treading a little bit of water at the moment, aren't they, Spide?
Yeah, well, you know what? We've got stats here. The quickest sprint. Who's the quickest in the AFL? Over 30, 40
quickest
metres?
Player. Oh, geez, I don't
Gary
know.
Rowan.
Danger? Gary Rowan, yeah.
Gary Rowan, 39 kilometres an hour. Until Papley kicks
go.
a goal and he hits 135 kilometres an hour. He goes third, fourth, fifth, bang, he is away. And he loves it. I love it. As soon as he kicks it and it goes through, it just skyrockets. The tongue comes out. This one comes here. And like that's what we love about footy, the passion that you show when you kick goals like that. So for me, love it.
Isn't it funny though, Spide? When you get to football, you seem to be a hell of a lot quicker than when the opposition have got it. You got to try and chase someone down. You just can't seem to get there. You can't pick them up, mate.
Don't know why running forward is you can run so much quicker forward than you can back. I don't know, but it's an absolute theory and it's true.
Hey, listen, 6 out of 9 for you last week, mate, for the Palmer Bet followers too, mate. Gamble responsibly. So you're getting closer and you didn't miss by much. I think you missed out on the Dogs. No, sorry, this is last week. You missed out on Carlton, Suns, and Melbourne. So there you go.
Yeah, the Suns are really disappointing. They're the ones that let me down. And seriously, at halftime, you would have said money in the bank and the other two teams were just too good on the weekend. But, 6 out of 9 around the money. And even, the small forward multi, if it wasn't for Stengel deciding who got injured, he'd already kicked 1-1 or maybe one out on the full. But anyway, he could have come back. It was raining goals. He could have just taped it up and come back and just kicked one and then gone back off. I would have been happy with that. So, look, the small forwards are doing it at the moment. There's some real key forwards kicking some big goals. And, we love big numbers when, your big forwards like Danaher's kicking 4 and, you've got Jeremy Cameron kicking 7 or whatever it is. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, it is good to watch at the moment, that is for sure. Let's have a look at the futures market, all thanks to Palmer Bet. Now, this is to make the final spot. So, Collingwood currently $1.08, Melbourne $1.08, Brisbane $1.22, Geelong are at $1.33, Swannies at $1.33, the Blues at $1.40, the Saints at $1.40. I reckon you could have got about $3 at the start of the year. Port Adelaide $1.80, the Crows $1.91, Bombers $2, Tigers $2.40, Bulldogs $2.50, Fremantle $3.75. Where's the value there, Spide? And where's the one you'd be staying away from? The short
I'd say
you wouldn't want to go near.
Port Adelaide and the Bombers are the value. You're still about $1.70, $1.80. They're good value. The Saints are still good value. I think, who did you have in third place? What was Brisbane there, $1.22 or something?
$1.22, yeah.
Still, they're going to play final. I think they'll finish on top of the ladder. So
Geelong's $1.33 just to play final, Spide.
Yeah. So there's some good value there. The teams I don't have any interest in is, the Tigers and the Bulldogs. At the moment, I thought the Bulldogs take a real big step forward, but at the moment, you can't convince me that they'll make finals. I just reckon that those tier of teams between 6 and 12, when you're looking at the Saints and the Bombers and Port Adelaide and these sides are going, they're in a lot better nick than the others.
Oh, what about the Dockers? $3.75. Is there a bit of value there? Do you reckon?
No,
you can't have them.
No, they should never have won over the weekend. They just haven't got what they had last year. They're leaving it to too few. Mind you, if you start looking at the futures and go to the Brownlow betting and you have Sarong, maybe there's value there because he's had a couple of cracking games for the Dockers. He'll be sitting up towards the top end of the tree. If they get enough 3s and 2s, I reckon him, and he'll be about, I think he's around $50 for Brownlow at the moment. Have a look at that one.
Love it. You're always looking for value for the Palmer Bet followers, Spide. Now, listen, let's have a look at round 6 action. And we head into an ANZAC weekend, of course, Monday night footy against the Tigers and the Demons. That's become a tradition. And then ANZAC Day footy, Collingwood and Essendon. It is going to be an absolute belter. But I'm going to drag you back to Friday night first and foremost. Fremantle taking on the Western Bulldogs. Couple of disappointing teams thus far. 8:10 p.m. at Optus Stadium. Dockers head-to-head at $1.85. The Western Bulldogs are at $2. At the line, Fremantle -1.5, $1.90. Western Bulldogs +1.5 at $1.90, all thanks to Palmer Bet. Real toss of the coin game, this one, isn't it, big fella?
Not really. For me, Palmer Bet's got this wrong. I just read it, and the depth of the Bulldogs is way too strong. They've got too much ability. When you look at their bottom tier players of 15 to 22, absolutely outweigh Fremantle. And, the Bulldogs are back. Right. They've started to find a bit of form. I reckon Norton will kick a bag as well. So, for me, I reckon a great bet this weekend would be the Bulldogs.
Right, at even money, $2. There you go, big fellas. A little bit of value to start the weekend. Let's turn our attention to Saturday, 1:45. Port Adelaide taking on the West Coast Eagles over at the Adelaide Oval. The Power been in good nick the last couple of weeks, head-to-head there at $1.07. West Coast at $8.50 spied at the line. The Power minus 46.5, $1.90. West Coast plus 46.5, $1.90. Power getting the job done. Do they do it easy? Big score, do you reckon?
I always get nervous when you're talking 40, 50 points because we thought that for the weekend with Geelong, then West Coast win the second half. We saw it a week earlier with West Coast. They don't allow teams to really blow them out. Yeah, they did when they had a lot of injuries, but they are competitive. You still got to beat another 22 guys. And, I just think Port Adelaide in Adelaide is an absolute lowdown misère. How much they win by, that's going to be the tough question. Port Adelaide easy. I think the line's a bit tough at 46, but you know what? It is 10 days in Adelaide for West Coast Eagles is a long time as well.
Yeah, maybe you get the line West Coast, so it might be the way to play the $1.90. Hey, GWS Giants taking on the Brisbane Lions Saturday, 4:35 p.m. at Manuka Oval. Head-to-head, the Giants, $3.43. Brisbane, $1.32. At the line, the GWS Giants plus 20.5, $1.90. Brisbane minus 20.5, $1.90. Can Harry Himmelberg pull out some magic like he did last weekend? Wasn't that a magnificent last couple of minutes from Harry?
When you've got Mark of the Year and you've got 1 and 2, you're going all right when you're only sitting at this round of footy. So he's a jet, and to win him the game, there's no better time in football when that happens. But I think the Giants have got leaving too much to too few. Toby Green's absolute superstar. I'd love to see Zorko go straight to Toby Green and wear him like a glove and just annoy each other. They would annoy us just watching him, but it'd be so good to watch those two players going head-to-head to each other. It would be fantastic. So please make it happen.
So Lions easy.
The Lions easy. They'll cover that 20-odd points.
Yeah, righto, mate. Beautiful. Geelong v Sydney, Saturday night at GMHBA Stadium. So it's the Cats' first home game. Head-to-head, the Cat is $1.49. Swannies $2.64, who do play very well down at GMHBA Stadium. At the line, Geelong minus 12.5, $1.90. Sydney plus 12.5, $1.90. What do you reckon, Spide?
Well, for me, I'm going the Swans. I just think only because, as you say, they're playing good footy. To beat Sydney, you got to play 4 quarters of footy. Geelong have not played 4 quarters of football. Not even close to 4 quarters of footy. So it's going to be a tough ask for them. They've got a couple of injuries as well. The Swannies, after last week, they're up and about. They had a cracking win. Don't take anything away from them. So for me, I'm going to stick with the Swans. They play well down there. They'll find it a great challenge for them. It is a grand final rematch. Think about all of that. I just think the Swans.
I reckon you're right. Like the Swannies are probably going to have a bit more steel in the belly, aren't they? They're going to be disappointed with what they dished out 6 months ago in that grand final. And they're going to, people forget about this, don't they? But it burns, doesn't it, Spide?
Well, you know what? They say they won't make anything of it, but the players will still want to win. They want to get some respect back. So, and to do that, you've just got to beat them. And every player that had a dog day on grand final day will be making sure they have a really good day. So they'll be primed for this.
Yeah, no, I might be with you. I reckon they're the value, mate. $2.64 head-to-head. Love it. Hawthorn taking on the Adelaide Crows Sunday, 1:10 p.m. in the Uni of Tasmania Stadium. Head-to-head, the Hawks $3.78. The Crows $1.27. At the line, Hawthorn plus 22.5, $1.90. Adelaide minus 22.5, $1.90. Generally low-scoring affairs down in Tassie, Spot. I'm expecting the same here. Do you reckon the Crows can win 3 on the trot?
Well, I've checked out the conditions. I've had a look. There's no rain. It's going to be clear conditions, 19 clear skies. So for me, that really suits the Adelaide Crows. Hawthorn aren't going to go away. They're a better side in Tasmania than most teams. But the way Adelaide come out last weekend and just absolutely destroyed Carlton with their run. They got numbers around the ball. Tex Walker thinking, how good is life now? I don't have to be the key, and I'm just getting the ball fed to me. He's loving life. So, yeah, I just think it'd be a tough one to ask for the Hawks. I reckon first half they'll be in it, but by the end of it, Adelaide will run away. So for me, the Crows too strong.
And to make it 3 on the trot for the Adelaide Football Club. Matty next doing a magnificent job over there. Carlton taking on St Kilda. This all of a sudden has got a fair bit in it too. Sunday, 3:20 p.m. at Marvel Stadium. There'll be a massive crowd out there, mate. Head to head, the Blue Bags at $1.90, Saints at $1.90. The boys at Palmerbet, they haven't even got a line for me, mate, because they don't know where this game is going to get to and what it's going to. It's going to be a tight one, isn't it, Spide?
It's going to be a cracker, and that's what we love. It is going to be. You cannot sit there and go, yeah, but St Kilda's so good defensively. Carlton's so good with their offense. But then, you go St Kilda's forward line, very unpredictable with young guys, and Carlton are very disciplined. Their midfield can match up. I just hope the Suns don't lose any confidence out of the weekend. I mean, the Saints don't lose any confidence out of the weekend and really challenge and continue to run hard and take on the opposition. And I think they will. Rossi won't go the other way. I think the Saints can win this. And at $1.80, thank you very much. The Saints all the way.
I'm going to give you $1.90, mate. I'm going to give you a little bit better value. It's straight down the middle virtually for these two teams.
Oh, there we go. $1.90 even better.
Carlton were disappointed, mate. They were disappointing last week. I reckon they're going to come out pretty fired up this week. So
don't forget, Carlton's only really beaten Geelong when Geelong weren't going.
You're right. Yeah, drew with Richmond, and Richmond aren't going that good. So,
So they haven't really beaten anything yet.
Yeah, I'm with you. Righto, Gold Coast taking on the North Melbourne Kangaroos Sunday, 4:40 p.m. at Heritage Bank Stadium. Head-to-head, the Suns, $1.29. North Melbourne, 363. At the line, the Gold Coast Suns at -20.5 at $1.90. North Melbourne plus 20.5 at $1.90. Gee whiz, I thought this would have been a bit tighter in the market as well, Spide.
Can you tell your mates there at Palmerbet to go and look inside my betting account and say, how the possible can you have the Suns' favourite when you've seen what they've dished up over the last month of football?
And at $1.29 too.
That is ridiculous. They're playing against Clarko. North Melbourne, they will find this as a finals game for them. North Melbourne know Clarko will be making a big emphasis on, you know what, these guys are in a bad patch at the moment. We can get up there. We can mentally get over them. Let's find ourselves a really good challenge. Let's get everything right, get up there, come home with the 4 points and do something. And this is what I'm going North Melbourne. I cannot go the Suns again until I see something half decent because I was being really disappointed over the last few weeks and they just do not rotate enough players through their midfield. They've got to start getting more players into the game. 3 or 4 players aren't going to do it for them. North Melbourne, they've got a good brand of footy. They'll have a crack here. And for me, I'm going North.
They travelled well, too, against the Dockers a couple of weeks back, got the job done over there. So, they're going to take a bit of confidence out of that. So, I reckon you're right, mate. Suns have done nothing at the moment, and they need to show something this weekend. But Kangaroos have been playing some solid enough footy. They got blown away late last week, but before that, they've been pretty good.
Don't forget, you only get blown away late if you're not in the contest. If they're in it at three-quarter time, you find another leg.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, this is a big game. Monday night, Melbourne v Richmond, both coming off losses last week. It's a massive ANZAC Day game. They get the jumpers, they get the crowd into it, they shut the lights off, Spide. It all happens at the MCG. The Demons, $1.32 head-to-head. Tigers, $3.43. At the line, Melbourne, -22.5 $1.90. Richmond, plus 22.5 $1.90. This game generally is always a tough physical encounter. I know the Tigers got a lot of injuries, but it's a kind of game they'll get up for, I reckon, Spide, and it'll be an improved performance.
Well, Dimmock, he's questioned him, hasn't he? And he said, you know what, it's always good to do a bit of back chat and maybe throw a bit of weight around, but when the ball's there, you've got to win it. So I reckon the first 10 minutes of this game is going to be a cracker. When you've got the hard nuts of Richmond, which we know they can be like, going 100%, not deviating straight for the footy, against Melbourne, who have got some absolute tough nuts in the middle, it is going to be a spectacle. The first 10 minutes of this game is going to be one of the best for the year, I feel. It's just going to be built up like that. Big occasion, Anzac Day weekend as well. For me, I'm still going to stick with Melbourne. I reckon Melbourne have got too many goods across the full ground over a longer period of time. But, the first 10 minutes will be great. We know Richmond will hopefully play out the 4 quarters, but for me, Melbourne, probably just a fraction too classy in the end.
That's been the hard thing from the Tigers, just consistently getting those good four-quarter games out of the. They just haven't done it. They haven't done it for a long time, to be honest. Hey, what about this one on Anzac Day, Tuesday? This is going to be massive.
Can the AFL structure anything any better? Like the footy gods have fallen into their lap. Last weekend, they started off and finished off. Anzac Day clash this weekend with two teams. When they scheduled this, and of course we know it's a tradition, but even at the start of the year, they would have gone, all right, how can we try and make this, obviously it's going to pack it out anyway, but how can we bring a little bit to it? They don't need to. This is going to be massive.
There'll be 96,000 there at the MCG, at least minimum on Tuesday. Head-to-head, all thanks to Palmerbet. The Pies are $1.44. The Bombers at $2.80. At the line, Collingwood minus $14.5, $1.90. Essendon plus $14.5, $1.90. What do you reckon, Spy? These games, no matter what position they are on the ladder, they can throw up absolutely any results, can't they?
Yeah, and it's going to be a good challenge for the Bombers. It's going to be interesting. I'd love to see Stringer go straight to Nick Dacos, who's at 42. Brownlow favourite coming to 450. So there's so many little things to play inside this game itself. To Goey coming back into the team. I just think, Collingwood were great over the weekend. A few of their players that haven't got the biggest names, but still playing a really good brand of football. And their half-back line is just so defensively strong. I love it. They run. And, their forward line's so unpredictable now with Ginnivan and, Elliott. So, for me, I reckon Collingwood, Bombers don't take anything away from them. I'd love to see exactly the same result as we saw with the Saints on the weekend. I'd love to see the Bombers really challenge them. The Bombers win, fantastic, great for the game. But I reckon Collingwood are going to be too strong. So, and as we said before, we're still expecting sides like St Kilda, Bombers to fold, to fall over. Hopefully it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I'm absolutely with you, big fella. Now, listen, what is your super-duper special of the weekend? You were so close last week, big fella. What do you got for us this week?
Well, I can tell you if my whole 9 win, I'm taking the Dogs, Port Adelaide, Lions, Sydney, Adelaide, the Saints, North Melbourne, Melbourne, and Collingwood. If they all win, 128. $128.43. So,
we won't be on here next week, mate. If they all get up, big fella, we'll be
absolutely
the Maldives or somewhere like that, I reckon.
And look, I love this multi. It nearly come off last weekend, so I'm not going to walk away with it. I'm taking 3-leg multi, a team head-to-head, and players to kick 2+ goals. So I'm taking the Dogs and Norton.
Yep.
I'm taking the Saints and Higgins. And I'm taking the Lions and Cameron. So all to win, just head-to-head.
And then 2+ goals. Oh, beautiful, mate. I love it. You like those little small forward kind of to kick 2+, don't you? You've kind of fallen in love with them the last couple of weeks.
Well, there's been some really good scores. You go through all the AFL, every team, and they've all got those small forwards that pop up. Higgins kicking 4 or 5, Charlie Cameron and Rayner kicking a few. You've got Elliott always hitting the scoreboard and Ginnivan, so Papley. So you've got a group of small forwards that are really turning on. We always focus on the big forwards, but I tell you, the small forwards can be just as important.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I love it. Gamble responsibly. Download the Palmerbet app. It is really, really simple to get involved. Do it in a responsible manner. That is always the key message. Spidey, you heading to any football this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. Got a mad Carlton man. So we're going to go and watch the Suns in North Melbourne. He's got the box up there. So we're going to get there early. We'll watch the Carlton on the big screen while the other teams warm up, and then we'll watch the Suns and North go head-to-head. So that's the footy on that this weekend. So hopefully it'll be a cracking game.
It's going to be a great weekend, Anzac weekend. It's always magnificent, mate. Love what you're doing, and I'm serious about. We're seriously going to talk about what we're going to do with all this memorabilia at the end of the year. It is just absolutely magnificent. That's Saints guitar, mate. Seriously,
slowly pop up.
Mate, I can see Molly Meldrum with that guitar in his lounge room just strumming that Saints.
I've got his hat in the bedroom. Oh. No, I haven't.
You've knocked it off.
I said that too quick. Hey.
Hey, good on you, mate. Great to talk to you, and it's going to be a fantastic round 6 action. We'll talk to you next week, buddy.
Absolutely. Enjoy the weekend of footy.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.